Rand, I need another episode of Fully Cinematic.
Do you like talking animals? Are you a fan of colorful hijinks and fast-paced shenanigans? Well, then the full-length animated feature, The Bad Guys, may still not be for you. But let's talk about it anyway. We start off with a BS homage to Reservoir Dogs as we're introduced to Mr. Snake and the Big Bad Wolf, chatting about Bulk in a diner booth before heading across the street to rob someplace. During the high-speed chase from the cops that ensues, we meet Miss Tarantula, who's voiced by Aquafina Sakes, who changes the streetlights to facilitate their escape. They're also joined mid and chased by the rest of the team, Mr. Shark and Mr. Piranha.
What's up, Papa?
And and by we, I mean the audience and most of the characters, think the chase has ended, we learn that it's only taken a brief pause. 100 years later, when it does finally end, the gang drives into a bootleg Batcave to celebrate Mr. Snake's birthday. And we see that their shadiness even extends to their interactions with each other as Snake maliciously promises Jaws a pudding pop, but eats it himself at the last minute.
What are you doing?
They soon watch a televised press conference during which Governor Diane Foxington, take a guess what type of animal she is, describes the quintet as quote-unquote second rate and their antics as unoriginal capers. I don't know if this was an example of hyper self-awareness or ironic ignorance. Anyway, because Wolf is offended and attracted to her, he intends to make the governor eat her words by pulling off the dumbest crime of the century, snagging the golden dolphin statue right from under her nose at an annual gala. So of course, we're treated to the standard explanation / pre-enactment of how the big heist should go down, leading into the actual burglary. Of course, there's computer hacking, crawling through air ducts, and stupid disguises. And despite a few hiccups, they accomplish Ocean's Impossible, until Wolf gives them away at the last minute.
Oh, right.
They're arrested in front of everyone at the event, but a guinea pig named Professor Rupert Marmalade IV proposes that he be given a year to rehabilitate them, and if he succeeds, they get their sentences vacated. Foxington and the morons accept, but Wolf suggests to the rest of the team that they simply pretend to go straight, as that'll supposedly put them in a position to steal the dolphin. While the town initially seems exactly like Zootopia, it's clear that humans coexist with and talk to the anthropomorphic animal citizens.
Are you okay, man?
Marmalade puts them through a bunch of ridiculous challenges, such as sharing with each other, rescuing cats stuck in trees, and a quote-unquote heist for good, which entails liberating guinea pigs from a testing facility. All of these missions go wrong, of course, and when Governor Foxington decides to end the experiment, Wolf opts to go full Clooney. Yeah, they actually said that in order to charm her into changing her mind. That night, Mr. Wolf actually does bring the cat down from the tree while the professor covertly live streams him, which earns Wolf points in the court of public opinion. But Snake overhears Marmalade advising Wolf to dump his crew, causing the beginnings of a rift within the gang. So the gala comes around again, we get another planned enactment, and during the event, Foxington confesses to Wolf that she was hoping he'd ask her to dance, which he does. And Mr. Piranha brings the house down when he unveils his hidden singing talent.
Such a good boy.
But the heist proceeds until Wolf has a change of heart mid-caper. Undeterred, the others pocket a priceless meteorite anyway, and although Wolf returns it, they're all arrested anyway. Just before Marmalade admits to them that he set them up as patsies so that he could snatch the rock for himself before harnessing his power to rule the world or some BS. The usual suspects are transported to a prison on the raft where Snake reveals Wolf's lack of dedication to the trife life. When the two fight, a ninja bursts in and takes out the COs. Can you guess who the ninja is? Of course you can. After Foxington's big reveal, she breaks the team out and speedboats them back to shore, where Snake, Shark, Piranha, and Webbs promptly quit and go their own way. Meanwhile, Marmalade initiates his scheme and begins controlling the minds of guinea pigs across the city. State? Globe? Don't know, don't care. Foxington admits to Wolf that she also had a change of heart about stealing the golden dolphin. See, she used to be a notorious cat burglar known as the Crimson Paw until she decided to defy her species stereotype and go legit. She takes Wolf to her lair and they suit up in preparation to steal back the meteorite. Back at the Batcave, the others are dismayed to learn that all of their belongings have been stolen, and Snake absent-mindedly commits an act of selflessness during a moment of stress. He finally gives Jabberjaw a pudding pop. Wolf and Foxy Brown take his car, which she stole, to Marmalade's hideout, where they promptly fall into his trap and learn that Snake's now working with the professor.
Oh, right.
Just as the new couple is about to be killed by a needlessly complicated gadget, The rest of the gang shows up and rescues him. Foxington and Tarantula have an obligatory girls' moment involving a motorcycle during another chase, and the bad guys, minus Snake, screw up another shot at public redemption in order to go back for their reptilian turncoat while being chased by a herd of guinea pigs. Marmalade pushes Snake out of their chopper in order to slow Wolf down, and he jumps the car off an overpass. By the way, it crashes in a fiery explosion below. But all five survive somehow. Again, don't know, don't care. The chief salivates at the chance to lock up the gang again, and Wolf stops the fantastic Mrs. Fox from confessing her role in all this just before Marmalade shows up, claiming to be returning the meteorite that he rescued. However, the meteorite's revealed to be a fake, and we learn through a flashback that Ka switched to real rock when he and the professor were partners. The chief mistakenly assumes that Marmalade is really the Crimson Paw, and everybody goes to the bank.
All right.
But we see the bad guys being released from prison after serving their bids, only to be picked up by the governor driving Wolf's car. The end. The quality of animated movies has taken a nosedive lately, and The Bad Guys has followed the crowd right into the dumpster. The Bad Guys is more or less a remix of The Outback, which itself is an off-brand Madagascar, combined with Zootopia. TBG does handle its racism allegory much better than Zootopia did, however. What with the film revealing that the wolf and the fox's true natures don't actually align with the negative stereotypes assigned to them by society, and a guinea pig widely assumed to be gentle and docile, turning out to be an amoral piece of bent on world domination deep down. But you still have to listen to in Aquafina for an hour and a half in order to get to that revelation.
Oh, hell no.
In other news, I figured I'd spotlight a few comments that we got on previous shows. In response to the Coda review, Michael Z said, overrated in comparison to the competition. Yes. Couldn't agree more, Michael Z. Commenting on my The King's Daughter rundown, podcaster Tyrone Dixon said, dope review. Appreciate you saying that, Tyrone. And Akira136's response to my early review of Dune was, garbage movie. No argument from me, Akira. Shout out to Michael Z, Akira136, and Tyrone Dixon for dropping comments. And shout out to everybody who hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. But I've had enough of this conversation and I'm logging off.
Fully cinematic.
Thank you, dear. You're such a good boy.
Oh, stop. You're making me blush.